What happens when you throw together two weddings, a collapsed dock, a kidnapped alligator, a destroyed wedding cake, Will Ferrell, and Reese Witherspoon into a mixer and tosses them all onto an island?
You get a movie that wishes it could be good enough to be on Hallmark.
Right now, next on Trees in Space. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trees in Space, the show where we watch all the movies of every genre, and we tell you what the critics think, what the fans think, and what we think. Is it worth a forest of trees, or just a stump to sit on? This week, in case you missed the thumbnail, we watched the 2025 rom-com, You're Cordially Invited. I'm Jason, and as always, I'm with Nate. So, Nate, this is a relatively new release. I mean, it came out this year. It's only February, so are you familiar with it?
I knew the movie existed. I didn't know the name of the movie. I didn't know the plot of the movie outside of two weddings being booked on the same day. So yes, I was aware of this movie. But
Well, go ahead. Well, I mean, most people probably know what this movie is, but let's tell them the basic story of it. Two weddings are accidentally booked on the same day at the same place. The each bridal party is challenged with preserving their family special moments. And well, as you can tell, two weddings at the same time on an island where they cannot just rebook something else, and they both booked like a year in advance. And then the chaos ensues with Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon. I think Will Ferrell is a good person for this type of role in this kind of movie. I'm not sure Reese Witherspoon was up to this task of this movie.
I actually feel the other way around. I think I liked Reese. I liked when Reese Witherspoon was on camera more than I enjoyed when Will Ferrell was on camera.
I didn't like Will Ferrell at all, but this is more of his movie.
Yeah, but I felt like the movie was better when Reese was on camera. When Will wasn't
that's
on
true.
Camera.
It's just I expect this kind of comedy from a Will Ferrell movie. Even though I thought it was going to be better, I didn't think it was going to be that kind of slapstick stuff. I didn't think it was going to be like the Step Brothers type, and then it turned into being that. It could have been so much more of a high brow comedy than what it turned out.
I think a lot of the issue was right off the writing on this movie was horrible.
That's just lazy writing.
Absolutely horrible. It was not well written whatsoever. And the writer and the director were the same person. So I'm going to say that the directing wasn't even that great. Because he couldn't find... It didn't seem like he knew where he was going. He didn't know how to write for different parts. I don't even think he could get credit by using ChatGPT on this one. Because I think it would have been a better movie. But like the Friends, right? They were overly excessive. And who the hell? What? I'm sorry. How many times you've been married? A few times, right?
Once and then some.
How you got 3 women to marry you? I'll never know.
And I've been married and then some twice.
How you got 3 women to marry you? I'll never know.
The wedding planning is so meticulously done that there's no way. Why would you have your friend plan your wedding and she not get with the venue to make sure that she can do what she's trying to do, not plan any of the actual things? Like, you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, that was totally out of character for Will Ferrell's character, the father character. There's no way he would let a whole year go by without being checked up on this. Not the way he was taking care of his daughter or baby's daughter. He would not have. But I will say I appreciated the friend group because as an older man, that's how I see most 24-year-old people anyhow. That just so, why do you do it? I don't know what to. I get social. You get social anxiety by picking up the phone. And
yeah,
people do. I know friends of mine that do, and they actually they can't make a phone call.
You never even called this place?
I have social anxiety.
You get anxiety from dialing a phone?
At the end, when they're all yelling at each other, he's like, "Oh, you're gaslighting. What's gaslighting?" And he explains what gaslighting is, and they're like, "Oh, I've been using it wrong." Yeah. I was like, okay, that's I think accurate way a lot of older people see the younger generation. That much I can give them.
And I definitely think that there were, like, don't get me wrong, there were moments. There's moments where it was funny, right? There's funny moments, but the jokes didn't really like land that well.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to talk about. Did you notice? I'm going to bring you back to the beginning.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I didn't mean to go skip to the end.
Skip to the end.
Do your kids ring the doorbell when they come over, or they just walk in?
Let's walk in.
Whose kid just I knock and walk in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a little like hello as you come into the door, but you don't just wait for someone to answer the door. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. And then, did you ask for permission before marrying any of your wives? I asked for this one. I just felt like it was like the responsible, gentlemanly thing to do. Like,
I asked the first two.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
It wasn't permission. I asked them for the blessing because I was getting married regardless.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I said. I said I would like to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage, and I was wondering if I can get your blessing.
Right. Do you approve of this? Because that way they don't approve the marriage, so you know where you stand with them. That's fine.
That's
true. But that was pretty good at the beginning because he started. I don't know this guy. You've known him for a while. I don't know him like a husband, and they start screaming at each other. I'm sorry. I was like, okay. I was hoping it would stay that kind of vibe, and it did not.
Right, it didn't. Though, did you notice that Ferrell got the blood on the jacket?
When?
In the beginning.
The jacket was messed up at the end.
No, in the beginning.
When he cut his hand?
Yeah. And when he gives Oliver a hug and he pulls away, there's the blood splat still on the jacket.
Yeah, it was good. His daughter, I loved it. I loved his daughter. I've seen her in other things.
I think she was better in other things. I couldn't believe the old lady died.
Well, it makes sense why there was a confusion.
I was trying to figure out how they were going to make that confusion.
Yes, I was wondering that myself. They did it pretty good. I think that's the only way they really could do it.
And I thought it was brilliant that, Will Ferrell, because even when he was starting to write that stuff down there, you could see where it was already pressed in. So I was like, and then when he took the pencil and he scraped it, and he's like, I was here first. And then when Reese was like, yeah, bitch, but whose credit card's on file?
Credit card. Don't say credit card.
Yeah, exactly. Credit card. But then they came together and they were like sweet and nice, and then they sabotaged it themselves.
Yeah, they were sabotaging the other person's brides, the wedding, not each other, because they weren't in the wedding. There was the sister of the bride and the father of the bride, but they were screwing up the wedding for both those people.
I found it insane, the fact that they had a forward, or if you will, or a prelude. Like, they framed the backstory, how Will booked it 2 years in advance, Reese booked it a year in advance. I hated the segue of, is it dead or not?
Yeah, that was...
Like, I was like, because I go to a man, I was like, what the fuck are we watching? What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
Like, it was such a dramatic change.
It was. And I think they want to make sure you see the difference between these two families. And I loved Reese Witherspoon's wife in this movie. I liked the wife's fiance, the stripper guy. I thought he was great. Yep. The side characters were really good in this. And that's the shame. The side characters should not be the best part of your movie.
At 21 minutes, I said, fuck this movie. Just so you all know. One of my favorite quotes from this movie is, "You're not a shitty person. You're just doing a shitty thing." I loved it. It was, And then another funny quote was when they're talking about the tent being a fire hazard. Was it Leslie? Is that his name?
I can't remember, but I loved his character too. He was great.
I like him in a lot of different movies he's been in. I think he's like a very popular character actor for
Yes, I don't believe so. He does
our
leave in small
generation.
parts.
Uh, I did find it funny that the writer slash director didn't know how to write for what business people do.
Oh, the bank. Apparently, they've already been doing that. See, there are some funny parts of this movie that saves it a little bit, but as a
But
whole,
it saves it at the end, though. Like, it takes too long.
oh yeah, like you like to say, a little bit long. You could have
Yeah.
cut about 30 minutes out of this movie.
Yeah, 30 to 45, you know.
Especially the last like 25 minutes of it, where they just kept like, is it over? Nope, got some more. Nope, got some more. It's like, really? You can't have just tied this up in a bow a little better? Do they really have to be romantic with each other and then everyone have a big happy family at the end? Oh, by the way, I didn't ruin it for anyone, but that's what happens. I was like, I do like the funny part where they can do the flashback with Will Ferrell and like every time she remembers seeing him and he has that smile on his face no matter what he was doing. That was kind of funny.
The same weird ass look.
Yeah. It's like, I know you dye your hair because it's a completely different color than your beard. Oh, wait.
I just assumed that he went down a lot.
Me too.
Oh, and the orgy with two widows.
Yeah, what was that? Why?
You know what though? When
You
he
don't
said,
take part of that.
when he said it was pretty sad, I laughed. 'Cause of course, there is a widower and two widows. They just lost their.
Saddest threesome of all time.
Yeah, I thought it was funny as hell. I thought it was great.
And when she got a black eye, that she got her face burnt. I mean, she started kissing on all the different people.
When did you think that they were going to get together?
Probably halfway through, like after the very first time they hated each other, and then they worked together, and then they didn't like each other again. They started working together again. Like, okay, these two are gonna end up together.
So I figured it out at 35:19. I wrote Will and Reese are going to get together.
Well, I mean, I don't think you have to be a genius to figure that out. I mean, it's a basic movie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, but I wasn't thinking of it as a plot point. Or like,
Nor should it have been. It didn't have to be.
or even like a hinge on a door. Like, I didn't think there was any type of that being a side plot or a side story that was
Right.
going to happen.
I mean, I saw this way going so many different ways. I saw like maybe the two girls getting married actually don't want to get married to their spouses, but they end up marrying the other person's spouse or other person's boyfriend. It's like, is they get around that way?
That would have been a good move.
Yeah, something like that. But it just kind of was very disjointed. But I like the mother. I did like the mother. I know she was a bitchy little Atlanta girl, whatever. Like, how's Atlanta? How's the racism?
Outside of the racist part.
Not to be racist or anything, but I love goat cheese. That's not even racist. Well, I said I wasn't being racist.
She reminded me of Travis's mom when she tried the
Did
cake.
she?
Like, oh, it's dry. I was like,
Yeah.
I just started laughing. I was like,
You get old, you don't care what you say.
no, I guess that's it. Besides the creepy ass relationship between father and daughter.
But I'm a creep.
That was I mean, outside of that one spot, there was nothing creepy about it. Really, except for that one song they sang.
I mean, he
What does her hair?
did his hair.
There's nothing creepy about that.
He officiated the wedding.
There's nothing creepy about that. I mean, there's nothing sexual about that.
Oh, I didn't say it was sexual.
You did not.
I just
You
said
did
it
not.
was creepy. It was a really weird and just, to me, awkward dynamic.
One of those helicopter parent. Even though she was allowed to go off to college and
Yeah.
get engaged, and
Well-
you could tell that he was already going to be that kind of parent from the beginning.
I did think he looked. I thought Will Ferrell looked handsome.
No, he looked okay.
He was a good looking man.
Yeah. And I still don't know. I know he sings pretty well. I just don't know if that was actually him singing without any kind of help.
I don't
Because
know. That was beautiful.
it was, and he sings well, but I don't know if he sings that well. It sounds just like him, but maybe with a little help with the little auto tune.
Maybe
But
he got some coaching. Maybe.
maybe, but he sounded great. She sounded great too. But the daughter was always dancing like, or whenever she was doing getting shows, her go, she did that thing with her face. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
that? So, is there anything else you want to add on to this before we move on to the 5-star, 1-star reviews?
I didn't heard his speech, so I'm gonna play you a song. Boop. Oh, he gets me.
He just pushed a
It's a
button.
button.
But it was so that they written that part pretty good, I thought.
Yeah. All right. Nah, that's it. I can probably keep pulling if you want me to. I can keep pulling the.
No, it's fine. Just like the movie itself, I think it's time it should move on. The first 5-star review is from Tomik S. Laugh out loud funny. The wife and I both cried laughing. Best comedy in years. Raw, real, and authentic. Nailed it.
No, person, no person for whom I have no idea what you are.
Tomik S.
Just no.
Just no. It was
Bad.
not authentic at all.
Bad. If I had a newspaper, I'd bop you on the nose. Just no. The first 1-star or less comes from Jeff G. If laughing and groaning were the same thing, this movie would be hilarious. Ferrell isn't funny, Reese is one-dimensional, and the plot is so predictable to be almost grown funny.
Okay, that guy's trying to be clever. It didn't work. But I agree with him. I think what's name was one-dimensional. I think I'm going to miss you. What? Really? After 2 days? Or I guess it might have been 4 days. I don't know. But okay. The next 5-star review comes from Christy M. I was pleasantly surprised at this movie. I thought it was funny and also had some touching moments. I actually watched it 2 times in a row.
Oh my god.
I didn't want it to be over. Well done.
Jeez, oh, Pete,
Someone call Christy M and see if she's okay.
we might need a health and welfare check on you.
Yeah, check on her, please.
The next 1-star or less comes from an unknown. Bad, really, really bad. Not funny, not interesting, not moving or touching. Crying shame that the 2 leads are as good as they are, and this is the movie they put out. So much potential and zero delivery. Save yourself the effort. This is a skipper.
First mate. Dad jokes, some dad jokes galore. But see, that just goes to prove that you get the right director and the right script, a movie can be great. No matter who's in the movie, the actors can be the best actors in the world, but they can't work with a script that's crap.
That's true. You can only work with what you're given.
Yeah.
And the writer and director was given Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, you can't save it because of the. But
Nope.
last 5-star review, Jack R. People are harsh on this movie. I think it's excellent. There's humor, romance, and good complicity between the characters. There's a lot of good to say.
There is, I mean, anything more than 1 or 2 can be a lot, right? So yeah, there's
Yes.
a lot to say about this movie.
Yes.
The last of the 1-star or less, and this is a half a star. I remember this one. This is from Unknown. What in the holy hell was that? I never write reviews, and I like plenty of bad movies, but this one was just awful. Will and Reese, how could you read the script and say yes? LOL, save yourself an hour and a half and preserve your love for these actors and don't watch.
Save yourself 2 hours, not an hour and a half. And the WTF. There really wasn't many to pull from, so I pulled this one from Patricia S. 3 stars. The movie would have been nothing without Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell. I thoroughly enjoyed watching both of them at their craft. Wasn't something I would suggest to others, but I still love the silliness in the movie. It would be nothing without those two. Well, obviously that's why they made the movie, and you wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but you still loved it.
You gave it 3 stars, so
Yeah, you gave it.
would recommend it.
Yeah, but you wouldn't recommend it. Okay.
I mean, I guess we don't recommend things that we've given. Yeah. Anyway,
I think I've done that one. I guess that's true. Well, you've heard what the audience thinks. You've heard what the critics think. So why don't let's see what Rotten Tomatoes scores this movie as. Rotten Tomatoes scores this at 46%, while the audience, which is you, thinks it's in more like 37%.
really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! I didn't even look at it.
Yeah, the audience hates this movie. Why Rotten Tomatoes say it's just mid.
That doesn't really happen very often. Where
No, it does not. I guess Rotten Tomatoes get paid off by Will Ferrell and Reese Witherspoon. Well, you've heard what everyone thought in the scores. Now you're going to get into what we think of this movie. There's really nothing to review about it. It was run the mill, paint by the numbers. Will Ferrell couldn't save it, even though I don't much care for everything he does. It was too long for what it was. It was so fine. There's nothing to really talk about it, but it wasn't so bad. There's a lot to talk about badness. That doesn't make no sense. The point is, that's how this movie made me feel. It doesn't make any sense. I would not recommend it to my surgeon. I just kind of sat there, and I don't know. I didn't care for it. So it's not bad. It's not like, go up on it bad or anything. It's not like when I sit on my TV and watch my couch. Yeah, I'm going to give it a tree and a stump.
And now it's my turn. We've talked about this movie. We've heard what the audience thought about this movie. And I think we all had some really good insight into what we thought about this movie. I am starting to believe that I am not a Will Ferrell fan. Though I love Ricky Bobby. Talladega Nights. It's probably my favorite movie of his. And only that movie. Oh, and Night at the Roxbury, of course. But that's just... I would not recommend this movie to my surgeon. At best I could come up with as a rating for this movie would probably be a tree and a stump. That's it. That's all I gotta say. We've already talked about it. Doesn't need to be too longer.
Well, you heard what Nate thinks. He gave it 1 tree, 1 stump. You heard what I thought. 1 tree, 1 stump. And this is like 3 times in a row where we got the same rating. Maybe we're just thinking too hard. I don't know. But tell us what you think. Put down there in the comments if it was a good movie, a bad movie. Tell us what movie you want us to watch. What Will Ferrell movie you want us to watch. Because we need to know so we can keep giving you the content that you deserve.
Tell me, baby girl, because I need to know. Sorry.
That's okay. I mean, I was about to land the fucking ship, but fuck it. See you next week on Trees in Space.